So tradition is something that is steeped in an idea, a feeling, a purpose. My mom looked out for people and they looked out for her. You had this community based around love, nurturing, not only about making money, it was about people caring for each other. She was diligent. She practiced the things that she taught us. If you believe in yourself and you have integrity and you have the drive and you're willing to work hard, sky's the limit.
For this Chef Talk with Kyle Cherek, I catch a cocktail or three with bartender and owner and proprietor Tony Oczus of both the Libertine and Proof in Green Bay and De Pere, Wisconsin, respectively. It's a great conversation about the path of a man who I think is older than the years he's got here on this earth. It's Chef Talk with Kyle Cherek and Tony Oczus of Libertine. So you're an anomaly within the Green Bay drinking scheme and to a certain extent the Fox Valley drinking scheme, right?
Sure.
Just places like Rye and Appleton pour a great cocktail. I'm sure there's other places that do really good cocktails. And they could be craft or not, that sort of thing. But how do you share this story without turning people off?
Again, I think it's kind of in terms of the story of Libertine or story of craft cocktail?
Story of Libertine.
Story of Libertine. Well, at 23, I had a newborn, so life slows down a little bit, and I had managed and bartended all around. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 13, in restaurants since I was 13. So it was time for a little bit of a change, and I'd wanted my own bar since I could remember, and at 22, 23, I really started to get into craft beer and started to dive into cocktails and just started reading as much as I possibly could and asking anyone who knew anything about cocktails questions, and just went from there. And when we opened the place, it was just like, this is what we're gonna do. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. This is Green Bay, and we were the first of our kind, so you really had to dip people's toes into the pool. So we started off with 6 domestics, but I said we'll never have a domestic on our draft lines. It's going to change all the time. We're going to have a bunch of craft beer, and we're going to do this craft cocktail thing that I was getting into at that point. We're going to juice everything fresh, and we'll start small, and we did, and it's grown into this now. I mean,
yeah, what was that? What were the first 150 customer interactions like at that bar?
It was too drunk of a time to remember. We had, like I said, we had a lot of people that came in and asked for what you would find in every other normal bar in Green Bay, and they would turn around and walk out. Most of them would turn around and walk out. Some of them would say, well, what do you do here then? And it was an education process. And our first menu was classics. It was a classic old fashioned. It wasn't the Wisconsin style brandy old fashioned sour. It was the right way to make a Manhattan without cherry juice, and it had Angostura bitters in it, right? And the vermouth was fresh. It wasn't sitting on the bar rail for the past 6 months, opened. So we took pride in those little details. I looked at it and still look at it as, I'm not gonna have you walk out of here and say, well, that guy doesn't know how to make Manhattan because he made it wrong and he put too much cherry juice or not enough cherry juice, or it was whatever, and I wasn't gonna deal with it. So this is the way we're gonna make things. This is the right way to make things, or in my mind, this is the right way to make things. And if you don't like it, or if you don't wanna listen to what we have to say, then there's plenty of other bars for you.
So you don't seem like someone who is alcohol is in the driver's seat of. There's a tempered passivity about you. There is a self-possessedness about you. And many people whose life followed the path that you just described for me have an anxiousness about them because they always wanted to be a part of the party. They always wanted to be the life of the keep
right.
They need that click, quite frankly.
I think every good bartender is like that, though.
Yeah,
you know?
but you don't have that. You don't have that click to get your day going. You need that, just and I'm not saying alcoholic, but I'm saying within the whole environment.
It's definitely morphed over the past 4 years. In the beginning, it was, oh my God, I have a bar. I finally, and we're making money, and like I get to order liquor that I've never been able to order before.
Right.
And we just, like, I'd never had Aperol. So like, shit, let's order it and see what happens. Let's see what it tastes like. You know, if we're going to innovate from here, we have to have tools to work with, I guess was...
Which is true, which is really wise, which is true.
And we started buying more equipment. We bought barrels. So let's barrel age a cocktail. We'll sell it. Like, we're that passionate about it. We were that confident in ourselves.
Yeah.
You could say definitely cocky or egotistical to a degree, I think. But I think it took that like wild sparkle in our eye when we looked at people like, you need to try this.
Right.
And there was enough people, luckily in Green Bay, that wanted something like this.
And trusted you.
Right.
Yeah. Key
Right.
component.
Well, I don't have any other hobbies either, so it's like, this is it, man. I don't golf, I don't play basketball. For a long time, it was this. So if there's one thing you can go to Tony about, it's booze, you know? So whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Party fillets. One is rare.
Some fillet, one rare.
One chicken. Party style. 7 party salmon.